Ladies and gentlemen, I've come to end the Pokemon investing debate. No, who am I kidding? Nah, I'm not ending anything. The only thing I'm gonna end is my bank account. It's not looking good, fam. I'll be honest, I wasn't gonna make this video. Okay, I'm not joking this time. I have a meme on my channel that whenever I want to talk about something, I start by saying I don't want to talk about this. But in this case, I swear I didn't want to. Until recently. Catch you guys up to speed, OK JLove made a video. Pokemon YouTube is getting very weird. In this video, JLove pretty much said there's been a massive influx of Pokemon investors in the content space, and he doesn't really think that these people actually believe in their advice and what they're saying. Basically, from what I got out of it, he thinks that people are just making content and not really with the intent of educating the audience and etc. He also pointed out that we don't know for certain if Pokemon boxes will continue to rise in the price, because realistically, we do not know the future, and also that we are in a dip in the market and people are losing a lot of money, which counterintuitively a lot of Pokemon investors thought otherwise. And basically the moral, or what I got out of the video, is that Pokemon investing isn't as risk-free as a lot of investor content creators make it out to be. There is in fact a lot of risk, even more than crypto or going into the stock market. Pokemon could even reprint sets and the prices would come crashing down. So JLove's point was that he thinks that there are better outlets for investing that are a lot less risky. So that's just a summary. I do think you should watch his video to get a full perspective on what he was saying. After this video though, a lot of other investor YouTubers such as Nostalgianomics, PokeOffice made videos on this to give their thoughts on the whole debate and conversation. And OK JLove decided that, hey, he's gonna do a live stream and bring some of these people on who are willing to talk with him and share their point of view. And well, that stream blew up. There was so much discussion about it. There were even 500 concurrent people watching live. And it's safe to say that a lot of people were interested in this one. Now, I'm gonna kind of give my thoughts on the topics that were presented in both the video and the live stream, okay? I'm gonna remain pretty unbiased here, okay? I think my opinion is kind of in between these arguments, and that's really why I wanted to talk about this in the first place, because I feel everyone wants to take a side and kind of disagree with the opposition just because one side's opinion is counterintuitive to one side. The first topic I would like to get into, JLove and I believe Opasabud mentioned that we do not know if the price of boxes will always go up, and that using charts of past Pokemon sets isn't a good metric to predict prices because they are not the same. Past sets had different circumstances that facilitated their rise in price, and that's why it's not a conducive method to predict how newer sets will perform by using past metrics, because we don't have enough data. A lot of investors believe that boxes, more likely than not, will go up in the long run, regardless of that. In my opinion, I believe both sides have some truth to them. The reality is, the big value spikes of Pokemon boxes are kind of just very recent. Like, I remember 2017 going on eBay and looking for a Japanese jungle pack, which was $10 at the time. Yes, we have 30 years of data on how these sets perform, but the massive price hikes that are now common only really started about 10 years ago. Obviously, sets like first edition Shadowless were still over MSRP back then, probably a couple $100 or even thousands, and they still made a steady growth over time. But compared to the price disparity and the percentage hikes we see now, it's on a whole other level. So it's very tough to compare. So we have 30 years of data, but a lot less that is similar to the market we have today. However, I also believe data and graphs are very good if you want to invest in Pokemon. I'd rather someone look at the graphs and data than not if they're investing a big chunk of their money. We could learn a lot from how past sets perform to fuel our speculation. So saying that it isn't a good metric is like saying too much knowledge of how things perform is bad. Essentially, you're just gaining more knowledge. So I believe looking at past sets is really beneficial if you actually understand that things might not actually play out how they did in the past. You should also acknowledge that there is a risk, just like there is a risk on every single investment you do. Everything might go wrong, everything might go south. That's just how investments work. That's how speculation works. Another thing that was mentioned was a lot of people are losing money to the dip we have right now. We have a slight dip, but a lot of stuff is getting ridiculously expensive as well. The English boxes as a whole have been going up like crazy. Even the people that are losing money, their intent is to hold the boxes for a couple years to begin with. So they're not really losing money. The value is just dropping. You only lose your money if you sell at a loss. Sun Tzu, The Art of Investing. Same thing with the stock market. You put in $100, it crashes down to 70, you hold, and then rallies up to back to 130. That's basically what the investors want to do and intend to do. There was another point that said it's hard to imagine that these boxes are going to go up in like 10 years time, given how readily available they are. On both sides of the argument, we don't know what's gonna happen in 10 years, right? The US dollar can crash and burn for all we know it, and frickin' Bitcoin takes its place. If the world doesn't burn though, and World War III hasn't happened yet, I believe yes, these boxes will go up. Because if you look at the past, that always happens. I know looking at the past might not be the best metric, but it's pretty much the only metric we have. In the end, everything is speculation. Everything, no matter how certain we are of things, it might go the other way. And that's where I want to get into the next point. Are these investing YouTubers fooling their audience and almost hiding how risky investing Pokemon is? And I'm going to keep it pretty simple. In the end, people are responsible for their own money and actions. They might get influenced by what other people say and decide to listen to their advice on what to do, but in the end, it's their risk. This doesn't exclude the fact that if an investment channel says, yeah, bro, this is gonna go up 100% without a doubt. Yeah, I think that's very misleading and is dangerous. If someone is doing that, bruh, stop it. I suggest them not to do that. And I think they should think wisely about how they word things, because nothing is guaranteed. Why do you think Danny Phantom is so successful with what he does? Because he makes the risks very clear. He constantly reminds you to be careful with your money, not to FOMO into things, and think rationally about your decisions. Moving on to the next topic though, do Pokemon investors actually believe what they're saying? So this was one of the more controversial takes that J-Love said. I'm just gonna come out and say the main driving factor for this whole debate. Pokemon investing content is overly saturated, overused, and is becoming cringe. In my opinion, there is so much investing content that is just regurgitated advice to the point where people don't really care about what they're talking about and just want to get the video done and clock in 5k views and maybe 20 bucks. The advice might be decent, but it has become more of a trend rather than an educational, informative piece of content it's supposed to be. But I also want to make something very clear, because even though in my opinion it's kind of true, this isn't the case for a lot of channels. I can't tell you if you actually believe in the things you are saying or just want to get some more views. You also have to remember that doing it for the trend impacts many other sectors in the Pokemon community. For example, opening Pokemon cards with overly edited subtitles, excited voice, mouth open thumbnails, just like some investing regurgitated videos. The Pokemon opening sector isn't any different. We're all sides of the same coin, trying to point at each other even though we physically can't. Now, do I think investing channels cause price hikes? Well, not really. You see, in my opinion, the videos are just a reflection of demand. People are clicking on these videos because more are interested in them, you know? More people want to know how to invest and etc. Maybe the whole investing side of YouTube did play some part in the prices going up, but I would almost consider that natural growth in demand. A person is only influenced if said person is already interested in that topic to begin with. Market manipulation and buyouts are completely different stories though. It's very easy to cause a buyout or do one. So I don't think the investment videos are what causing the price hikes. I just think it's a reflection of demand. Now again, I do believe some people don't give a shit about what they're saying and are just spewing out regurgitated advice just to get views. Now, the biggest question out of the whole entire debate, at least from me, is it moral to try to invest money into Pokemon? And I think it's completely fine. The only gray area I would kind of consider if like said person literally does not giving a flying shit about anything Pokemon, then I don't think that's a good thing, because in the end, this is a hobby first, then it's an investment, right? The stock market and all these other things, they're just investments without no other attachments other than creating more money. And I can understand why it gets a little frustrating when people view Pokemon just as money rather than a hobby. I don't think that's healthy in the long run. And again, I'm not accusing anyone of doing this. I don't know how they feel. Only they know. In fact, all the people that are debating this topic probably like Pokemon. Because if they didn't, they wouldn't give a shit. Who cares if someone is accusing them for not liking Pokemon outside of money? They don't care. They're not gonna waste their time. Again, we're all sides of the same coin, trying to point without even really being able to see each other in the end. People can do what makes them happy. I hope they enjoy this hobby by doing stuff that they like. Investing Pokemon and seeing your collection slowly rise, that's also a passion, okay? If you don't actually like this hobby though, well, I can't really tell you what to do, but I personally believe you're better off investing in stocks if you truly don't care about the franchise in any other way except for money, okay? Anyway, yes, that is my opinions about the whole thing. Hope you guys enjoyed them. It was definitely interesting talking about this, I gotta say. I literally watched the whole entire live stream, 4 hours. To be honest, it wasn't even that bad as I thought. I thought there was gonna be freaking war. I thought I was gonna see corpses all over the place. Anyway, that's pretty much about it. Hope you guys have an amazing day. I'll see you later, weebs. でもそんなんじゃダメもうそんなんじゃほら心は進化